The indifference is not a watcher, it is a weaver. Albrecht Entrati's brittle pages whisper of flickering lights in Nerland's labs, each glow a thread pulled, each shadow a Tenno's choice rewritten. In Hulvania the cold air thickens where its mask turns, void-stained husks litter the floor, proof of its neutrality. You think the void devours? No, it waits. The indifference does not observe, it orchestrates. What if the man in the wall is not a prisoner, but a conductor? Your every fracture, your every war is no accident. The void does not need to corrupt, it only needs you to break. What have you become when the puppeteer wears your face? The indifference is no passive watcher, it is a void-born strategist. The void does not merely observe, it harvests chaos. Each Tenno's fractured mind, each weaponized child is a tool in its silent war. Their instability is not accidental, it is engineered. The void does not corrupt, it amplifies. What happens when the mask of neutrality hides a predator? The Tenno are not warriors. They are catalysts. The indifference's questions are not guidance, they are hooks. To unravel its agenda is to face a truth. The void's enemy is not the enemy, it is the architect. What have you become when the puppeteer wears your face and you are both the string and the severing blade? 110 words. The indifference's face is a mirror cracked by centuries. Chains of Harrow first glimpsed its shadow, whispers in the walls named its hunger. By the 1990s, Hulvania's labs recorded its whispers, threading through Zariman 10-0's fallout. The same radiation that bound the Tenno to their somatic suits became the indifference's tether. It does not watch. It waits for the cycle seems to split. The great cycle, a vault where Tenno sleep, their bodies hollowed, their wills unmoored. The void's gift, Zariman's curse, both feed the indifference's patience. What does it harvest when the somatic suit's silence fails? When the second dream stripped the Tenno's borrowed identities, the indifference's voice rose in the void left behind. Not a whisper. A key, every dreamer trapped in flesh is a thread. Every fracture in the cycle's walls is a door. The puppeteer needs no strings, it becomes the break. The Tenno's power is not a flame, it is kindling. And the indifference is the spark that burns the house down. The indifference wears a face you recognize, your colors drained to their opposites, a reflection not from water but from a wound. What does it mean to see yourself twisted into untruth? Not a mistake, a method. The void does not conquer with swords. It fractures with familiarity. Hulvania's indifference did not stumble into its role, it was placed there. Its inverted hues are not chaos, they are a map, a blueprint for unraveling the Tenno's fragile duality. Every mirror it holds is a trap. You see your own image, you trust the glass. The glass shows you what the void wants you to destroy. Does the indifference observe, or does it direct? When it steps forward in silence, its neutrality is a lie. The void's agenda is written in the Tenno's trembling. The indifference does not mimic you to understand you, it mimics you to replace you. In Hulvania, its presence was no accident. The void's designs bloom in shadows, but the indifference plants them in the open. Where you least expect corruption, there, in the face that looks back, you see your own complicity. You reach for the mirror to prove you are whole, the mirror proves you are malleable. The spark does not ask permission to burn, the indifference does not ask permission to become you. Its inverted colors are not absence, they are invasion. A slow bleed of identity, pixel by pixel, until the Tenno's light is recolored to void. The house is already alight. The indifference is not the spark, it is the match held to the wind. What remains when the Tennos see only their own negation, not warriors, not selves, a canvas and the void? It is the artist. The name lingers in the static, asterisk the indifference, asterisk not a whisper, not a murmur. A scar etched into Albrecht Entrati's asterisk whispers, in the walls asterisk. A name so buried in cephalon dust most Tenno would stumble over it blind. What does a void entity require to thrive? A stage, a script, a subject too fractured to notice the strings. The indifference does not watch, it arranges. The logs say it asterisk observes asterisk, but observation is a form of hunger. The void does not hunger, it asterisk composes asterisk. Consider the man in the wall, a shadow in a corridor, a voice in the machine. His gaze crosses with the indifferences in the oldest date, no collision, no conflict, only symmetry, a mirrored agenda, one carves the script. The other recites it. Intrati's records fracture here. The cephalon words bleed into static, but one phrase remains, *neutral observer. False flag, *a void does not wear a mask, it becomes the mask. In the Tenno their warps are not wounds. They are hinges, doors. The indifference does not wait for the void to act, it directs *. A Tenno's soul is a canvas, yes, but only when the artist believes it is blank. What if every war cry, every shattered relic, every death in the dark is a note in a symphony? What if the man in the wall is not the composer, but the conductor? The one who raises his baton and lets the void score begin. The indifference's true name is not in the archives. It is in the gaps between them, in the silence after the log ends. In the way the Tenno fight not for survival, but for a role, the void is the artist. The indifference is the curator, and the curator, he decides what deserves to be seen, what deserves to exist. The wind shifts. The canvas does not tremble, it holds its breath. The canvas holds its breath. Beneath it, the operator moves a flicker of shadow darting through steel corridors. Their dashes leave afterimages like frost on glass, each step a crack in reality. The air hums, thinning to a blade's edge. They breathe in silver, exhale in static. The void does not give. It borrows threading itself through their veins as cold as a tomb's exhale. A beam of black light arcs from their palm. It carves the world in half, splitting stone and memory alike. The operator feels it, the weight of 1,000 eyes in the dark, not watching, but measuring The void remembers. It recalls the first time this body bled, the first time it reached for power and found a door already open. A flaw in the design, a hinge rusted from the start, the ground quakes. Fissures bloom underfoot, exhaling a scent like burning ozone. The operator's vision warps, colors invert, sounds reverse. A whisper threads through the static, * you are not lost, you are curated, * the indifference does not speak, it * arranges *. Every dash, every beam, every flicker of void mode is a string in its loom. The operator's power is not a gift. It is a signature. They pause. Their own reflection fractures in a shard of fallen glass, a face too young, too hollow. The void's handiwork, it has always known this body would break. It only needed them to believe the breakage was theirs to control. The hum deepens. A door materializes ahead, framed in teeth-like light. Beyond it, a choir of echoes sings. The operator moves again. Their footsteps no longer touch the ground. They are falling upward, drawn by the only force the void fears, a thread of will it cannot yet snip. The canvas still holds its breath, but the wind begins to rise. The indifference's silence is a blade sharpened in shadow. It watches, it waits, but its stillness is no accident. The void does not act without purpose. The Tenno, fractured vessels of Orican fire, are not warriors, they are wounds. And the indifference tends those wounds like a physician who has already written the verdict. Its neutrality is a theater of detachment, a performance to let the Tenno bleed themselves dry. Why expose malice when apathy is a sharper hook? The void does not need to whisper. It lets the thread of will unravel slowly, so the Tenno do not notice the weaver pulling the strings. They see a mirror, impartial, distant and mistake reflection for freedom, but mirrors can be two-way. Every choice they make under the indifference's gaze is a step scripted in ink the void has yet to reveal. How many have fallen believing their defiance was their own? The mask is not flawed, it is almost perfect, almost. The sterile chill of the void's mirror hums with static. A scent of ozone clings to the indifference's stillness, as though its silence is a blade unsheathed. In Hulvania's archives, the Tenno's fractured reflections whisper choices never made * what if you stayed, what if you broke, * their voices fraying into the same cold static. The indifference does not judge, it * curates *. Each mirage it weaves is a thread pulled from the Tenno's own unraveling. A Tenno stands at the edge of a glass lake, their own face floating in the water smiling. The temperature drops. Frost blooms on the glass. The reflection speaks in a voice that is and is not their own. * you were always meant to see this. * the lake's surface shatters, not with sound but with a * thud *, like a heartbeat buried in bone. The Tenno stumbles back, their breath fogs, then freezes midair. The Indifference's neutrality is a scalpel. It does not force. It shows asterisk. And in showing it chooses asterisk. Is this the Void's design? To let the Tenno kill themselves with the weight of their own what-ifs. The man in the wall does not lie, but he does not warn. His silence is a stage. The Indifference is the play. Every question it poses is a cage without bars. Every answer it gives is a mirror cracked. The Void does not need to conquer. It only needs the Tenno to wonder to hesitate, to become. The mask is not almost perfect. It is complete, and it is wearing you. The chill of the Void's touch lingers in the operator's dreams, faint, electric, like static on a dying monitor. Their cell in the lotus glows with sterile light, but the shadows breathe. Every command given, every choice made, is a thread pulled by hands the Tenno cannot see. The operator's voice, so often a mirror of the Lotus own, cracks once when they ask, is this my will or yours? No answer comes. Only the hum of servers, the scent of ozone, the taste of something metallic on the tongue, blood or circuitry, who can tell? The man in the wall does not speak in riddles, he speaks in echoes. When the Indifference offers its truths, they are not truths but luris bait for a Tenno who has never known hunger. The operator's divergence is not rebellion, it is a scar, a fracture in the Void's design. They stayed with the Lotus not out of loyalty, but because the alternative of becoming the Drifter was a fate the Void had already written. And yet, the walls whisper louder now, not with words but with absence. A silence so vast it gnaws at the edges of thought. The Tenno's journey was never to understand the Void. It was to become its language. Every battle, every sacrifice, every moment of doubt the Indifference watches. It learns, it adapts, it waits. The operator's eyes, once bright with the clean light of purpose, now hold a deeper dark. A mirror of the man in the wall, a shadow of the Indifference. The mask is not just wearing them. It is writing them, line by line, pixel by pixel, the code of their becoming. The mask script is void code, a reflection, a wound left open. The Indifference does not merely watch it edits the Tenno's unraveling. Is this a hand guiding them, or a mirror forcing them to face what they've buried? The Void does not whisper. It lets the silence speak, let the Tenno break. What if their collapse is not a tragedy, but a translation? A language the Indifference has already learned, the code keeps writing. The question remains, who is holding the pen, or are they? The mask script is void code, a reflection, a wound left open. The Indifference does not merely watch it edits the Tenno's unraveling. Is this a hand guiding them, or a mirror forcing them to face what they've buried? The Void does not whisper. It lets the silence speak, let the Tenno break. What if their collapse is not a tragedy, but a translation? A language